Hi and welcome to my Blended to Unity NIM tutorials, and in this part we'll be modelling ourselves a table to drop our matchsticks on. So let's get started. Hi and thanks for watching. Today in our very brief tutorial we will model a very simple table. We can go to town on this if you wish. I'll just show you some of the ones I was looking at in Chrome. One second. Here they are, lots and lots of lovely looking poker tables. I'm going to go for a very simple. I'm definitely going for a felty look in the middle there, and maybe just sort of rounded edges. Well, nothing quite as posh as these. Mine are just going to have regular legs in all four corners. If you want to go to town, then please do. I'm going to show you how to texture this in Substance Painter, which gives you some more options. All right, so let's spin back to Blender. Okay, we can use this default cube that comes with it. So let's just do a few things. Let's just go to front view and pressing numpad 1 and press numpad 5 to go to orthographic. And we'll scale it on the z-axis, SZ 0.15 maybe. That looks pretty good. And then we'll scale it on the x-axis twice. Okay, that gives us a table. I'm not hugely pleased with it. Might scale it on the z a bit more down. There, something like about there. Okay, and what we'll do now is we'll tab into edit mode. And before we do that, let's just do tab back out to Control A, rotation and scale. Tab into edit mode, and we'll add a couple of edge loops. So we'll have one across the y-axis there. Control R, left click, right click to cancel. Control R along the x-axis, left click and right click to cancel. Okay, because guess what we're going to do? We're going to start deleting some of these edges. So I'm just going to press Z to go into wireframe, A to deselect stuff. And if we just press C, and we'll just sort of select all of these edges here. Okay, so we'll keep the back right hand corner. Actually no, we won't. We'll keep the front edge here. Okay, so now if I just right click to cancel that and press X vertices, we end up with just one of those corners. And now we can go into our little tool over here, little spanner, and click add modify mirror. There we go, and it's X and Y we want it on. And if I just press Z again, you'll see that we've got a table that has all four pieces back again. Magic. So what we'll do is we'll bevel off these edges. Like, see if I can find an example one. They're like that. If I don't know how big that is, we'll bevel off these edges here with a nice smooth, rather than just a sort of one corner. We'll add lots of little corners here. So let's do that now. So if I just do Control Tab 2, or go down here and click onto Edge Select, I'm just going to right click this edge here to select it. If I just do Control B, pick a sort of amount, something like, not too far, about there maybe. You can play with this, and then under here you'll see on the left hand side, if you haven't got the toolbar loaded, just press T and I'll bring that up, and what we'll do is we'll whack this right up to, how many have we got? 8 is the maximum, although you can actually type more in, but I think 8's fine. I'm just tabbing out. Well, this is the other thing about Blender. Once you've tabbed out, you can't tab back in again. So you have to do Control Z. So let's do Control B. In fact, if we do Control B now, you can actually it'll keep the number of segments that we used. So I'll just right click that. Let's go to top view and then do Control B. We can just pick a size we like. How about that? That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, if we just tab out, you can see at the minute it's looking a little bit, you can see those edges, so we'll tab back in, Control Tab 3, or go down to here and go face select, and then we just alt right click this side piece here and go to shading UVs, faces smooth. And what we'll do over here is if we go to this little triangle, what's it called, the data object data one, and we'll just click auto smooth. Okay, and that just makes sure that any sort of sharp angles are actually are considered, if you like. Okay, so now that looks much better, doesn't it? That looks actually very, very good. So what we need to do with all of these, not that one actually, let's just close that one down, but what you'll see is that the felt is always inset inside the wood, like this one's probably a good example. You can see the edge of the wood here. Actually that's rubber in this case, but you can see that some of them, I really should prepare better, shouldn't I? I do prepare, I promise. I have gone through this once and now I can't find any. Okay, well it'll become clear when I show you exactly what I'm talking about. Something like that, but without this rubber panel. I've never seen, these rubber panels are very nice. I must admit, I've never been to a poker game where they've got this round them. I must be missing out. So let's go back to here, and what we'll do is we'll go to top view. We'll tab into edit mode, and we'll right click the face at the top. And if we just, actually before we do that, I'm going to tab out and do Control A, rotation and scale, tab back in, and we'll just press I, and inset this. Okay, something like that. We don't want to go too far, because if you go too far, you see the actual faces on the bottom right hand just flip back. So we don't want that. So somewhere maybe like that. How's that look? Yes, I'm happy enough with that, but what we don't want to do is have these faces here. So we'll just click those two and shift right click and press X faces, and if we go over to our mirror modifier and turn on clipping, I think we've got edge select. No, we haven't. So Control Tab 2 to go to edge select, and then we'll just grab the right click and shift right click that, and then just do GY, pull that in, and then we'll click and then shift right click there and grab on the X, pull that in there. Okay, so we've tidied that up now, and I don't think that's enough. What do you think? So what we can potentially do is the following. We can just grab this lot here, if it'll let me. There we go. And if we just press GX, we can pull it in that direction, and then GY and pull it up there. And we want to keep it about 45 degrees, don't we? So keep these guys here at about 45 degrees. In fact, that one there would be my guess. These two here need to be about 45 degrees. That looks much better to me already. I'm much happier with that. Okay, now the other thing that kind of makes this work, because what we're going to do is actually we're going to create a low poly version of this. We're going to create a little ridge here, but we don't need to do that in real life. We'll just create a normal map for it. In real life, none of this is real life, is it? What we'll do is we'll do a feature called normal mapping. But those of you that have seen my videos before will know what I'm talking about. Apologies, I've been for a run today and it's making me feel a bit doolally. In fact, let me have a quick drink of my water. I don't think I've drunk enough. There we go, sorry about this. Right, I'll carry on. So we'll do Control Tab face again, and we'll click here, and we'll just do I, and we're going to do a tiny inset now, just the tiniest one, like so. Same rules apply. We just want to grab these two here, and then press X faces, and then Control Tab 2, just grab those two, GX, pull that in, and then grab those two, GY, pull them up. Okay, and we've got this edge here, and what we'll do now, if you just press Control R, I'm hoping this will work. There, just get it into the middle piece there, and then a left click, right click, and now what we can do is we can just GZ and pull that down. And that'll create kind of a little lip there where the felt was the gap between the felt and the wood is going to go. Can you see that? There we go. So this piece here will be nice and woody. This bit here will be nice and felty. Lovely. Now the thing is, like I said, this is meant to be a normal map, but at the moment it's actually a fully fledged model with all the verts here. So what we'll do is we'll just go to the top view and we will press Control Tab 3 and we'll just press C and literally select everything. Okay. Now we're going to press Shift D, Z, and that's going to create a copy and move it up on the Z axis. Okay, and then what we'll do is Alt right click this lot and press X2, and there's X, and then delete faces. Okay, so we've done the same thing. Okay, we've still got our lip here, but now it's been duplicated on this piece up here. So what we can do now, actually, if I just press L to select that lot, and then we just press H to hide it, and now what we can do here is press just make sure you press A a couple of times to make sure there's nothing selected, and C and select this lot, and now I'm going to press X faces. Yes, I am. Okay, but fear not, because what we'll do now is we'll just say Control Tab 1, grab this edge here, click on the right hand here and press EX and pull it into the middle, and then we can just do a quick selection of all of those edges and press F to create that face again. Although now it's looking like it's done something a little bit funky. Let's just do a couple of things. Let's do Control Tab 2, select those ones here, and do Control E, mark sharp. There we go, that's fixed it, hasn't it? So now what you've got is you've got your table here, and above it we've got ourselves a kind of, if I just go to top view, you've got this effect here that makes it look like it's got a lip there, but actually on the table underneath it hasn't. Alright, so if that's not making any sense to you yet, don't panic, we're almost there. We'll bake those normal maps in a moment. Right, so let's quickly add some legs here. So we'll just tab out again. I'm just Control Tab 3, and then Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift A, cube. Okay. I'm going to turn off clipping for a second. Just scale this down, and then grab on the Z axis. Pull that down. Now we just need to get this right. Okay. So let's scale those in. Those legs are too big, and now we're going to scale on the Z. and then grab on the Z. How's that? Because you see, because we've added it once here, it's duplicated them over to the other places. That looks pretty good to me. We can work on that. We can go nuts. I'm going to remove the top and bottom faces. So let's just Z here, and just click that one, not that. Hey, stop it. Z A, and we'll just select that one. There we go, and that one, and press X faces because they will never be seen. Okay. And what we'll do as well, I think, is just to give it a little bit of a kind of make it look a little bit more smart. We'll bevel those. So I'll just tab out and do Control A, rotation and scale. Tab back in, Control Tab 2. I'm just going to select these 4 edges here, and then do Control B. Oh, of course we've got the rounding going on here, so I'm actually going to turn that off in a second. Something like that, and then we'll where did that blast it? So let's do that again. Control B. Sorry about that. Click on there, and then like that, and then we'll just turn that back down to 1. Let's have a look at 2. No, 1. There we go. Okay, just to give it a little bit of interest. Not the greatest, is it? But it's perfectly fine. It works as a table leg. You know, if you wanted to, for instance, we could go in and do Control R 4 like that, and then click and just scale on the Z, and then Control Tab 3. Select that lot. E, right click, Alt S, and pull that out. See what this is what happens to me now. I get involved. Control Tab 2, just grab that one, and then scale on the Z. There we go. That's an interesting looking leg, isn't it? Yeah, it's got some interest. Now it's going to be a little bit tougher to unwrap, but there we go. Yeah, I like that. I hope you like that too. So let's unwrap this. First things first, what I might actually do is tab back into here and press Alt H to bring back our thing here. And on this thing that's selected, which is great news, if it isn't, just select an edge or a piece and just press L. And then I'm going to do P, separate by selection. Okay, and that'll move it to a separate object. In fact, while we're at it, let's right click the table, spin into here, and let's just Control left click here, and we'll call that table. And we'll click here, and we'll call, what should we call that? Normal felt bump. I don't know. There we go. Just so we know what it is. Okay, so now we can click back into here. In fact, what we'll do is we'll actually hide that for now, and we'll click into here, and we'll start unwrapping this. So let's just click in, and what we'll do, I think, is we'll actually unwrap the legs, then we'll apply the mirror, and then unwrap the table piece here. Okay, and the reason for that is because these legs can share the same texture space. I'd like the table not to use the same texture space. Possibly the top and the bottom can use the same texture space, but not the side piece here. We want this to be one flowing piece. So let's do that. Let's just try one thing. Let's just go Alt right click there and do Control E, Mark C. And if we just drag the bottom left hand corner, just drag across, and then click on the widget. What do you call that? View select widget, and we're going to click on UV image editor, and we'll just press L U unwrap. And it's pretty clear that it hasn't unwrapped very well, but we can check. If we just go over to here and press N and then stretch, you get a rough idea of where we are. So what we'll do, this is why I should never have done this. Just go into here. I might just try something along the lines of making you a separate piece. There we go. Shift right click. Hopefully that's right. And then Control E, mark seam, L U unwrap. Okay, that's done a lot better on these pieces, hasn't it? But this piece here is still having some troubles, and I think I know the reason why. Is that we're going to have to go through each of these bits. I knew I shouldn't have done this. Let's turn off the eye here so we can only see one corner. Okay. If I press Shift Space as well, that will just temporarily maximise this window. Oh, not that one. Just going through these edges here. What was I thinking? Doesn't matter that I've got that one selected. And I think that's all of them, is it? No, this one here as well. Just these edges here, okay? You don't have to do this. I should have just gone for a flat panel, shouldn't I? Control E, mark seam, and then Shift Space to close down the maximise. And let's try it again. Press L, U, unwrap. Okay, and that's looking much cleaner. Now we do have some issues with the kind of some seams here, but hopefully that'll we can work through that. I think, if I'm right, there's two pieces here. You can see that there. Okay, I've just going to do Control Tab 4 to go into Island View, and I selected those. But that looks like that's one piece. Okay, which this is fine. Why is that actually two pieces? Because it should be one, shouldn't it? What am I missing, guys? What am I missing? Hang on. L. Oh, maybe it is two pieces. No. Hang on. No, it's definitely two pieces, isn't it? It's broken them up. Okay, I'm not. Oh no, sorry. Excuse me. It's the top and the bottom, isn't it? I'm being daft. Sorry, guys. Right, good. So that's done. So what we'll do is we'll press A, and then we're going to press P to pin it. Okay, and then the reason for that is that when we apply the texture, apply the mirror modifier, it'll keep it in the same place. So we'll just grab that and move it down there. Tab back out, and then we'll just click the eye back on and press apply. All right, good. And now if we tab back in, you can see that's still there. But what we'll do is we'll hide that. Let's do some tidy up on the verts here. We don't need those edges there, so just Alt right click there and Alt Shift right click, and then press X edge loops. Where are you, edge loops? There you are. That just gives us that table back. Okay, it makes sense, doesn't it, to me, to Alt right click and Alt Shift right click those two there, and just do Control E, mark seam. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to make these bits here. Each of the excuse me, there we go. Each of the pieces there, a seam there, and it's going to require a little bit of thought, but the good thing is when we use Substance Painter, you'll see that this is going to make life easy for us. Okay, Control E, mark seam. I could have done that before I applied the texture. You notice you can't see that the seam here. That's because the edge is showing above it. If that annoys you, you can press N and then go to, is it display? No. Which one is it? Here we go. It's this mesh display here. So if you click off edges, no, excuse me, we're sharp. If you click on sharp, it will show you these here. But the annoying thing, unless they fixed it recently, is that it doesn't take long before that gets reselected again, annoying as it is. Right, so now let's just try selecting everything here and do U unwrap. Now this is the weirdest thing to me. The same thing happened earlier. I don't understand why, but it's not kept. It should be a very easy unwrap this, and I think it's because it's all one face. So we'll fix this by doing the following. We're going to let's go to actually, let's keep that open there. We'll just press N and T to give us some space. In fact, we can press N over there to hide the properties. And if I just click on the top one, so I press Control Tab 3 and just select the top face, and I'm going to say U, and then excuse me, project from view, and that will give us a flat piece like that. And then if I just do Control 7, right click that one and do U, project from view there. Interesting, they're completely different sizes, but we can fix that in a few moments. And so now if I press A, okay, we're in pretty good shape, I think. So yes, you can see these pieces here. Okay, these ones here. Now these are different sizes, that's okay. We'll just grab that and then we'll just scale that up. Grab it and scale it up until they're roughly the same size. Let's just press Shift Space here. If I say roughly, let's see how close we can get it. It's relatively important. I'll tell you why. Scale again until they're, there you go. That's pretty blooming close to me. That, how much closer can we get? That's fine. And now if we just do Shift click again, that'll select both of them. And if we press W, remove doubles UV. Okay, that's interesting. It's got a very funny colour. I don't know why, but I think I might know why. Do you know what? I'm not sure I care. The reason, what I was going to do, if I just Shift Space again and just do, just select everything here, and then do W, remove doubles UV, and just press T on this one, and we'll just get that right down. So let's try 0.001. That should work, I think. Let's try, and we'll just try 0.005. That's also working. 0.010. Yeah, it's too much. Okay, 0.0075. I don't know. Okay, that's too much. 0.005 was about right, wasn't it? Okay, so what that's done is that's joined all these up together. I don't know if we can see this. Yeah, you can kind of, can't you? You can see that that's joined them all up nicely. Okay. So that means that the thing is, I'm not even sure I've got the underside, but we might as well get it to use the same texture space as the one above it. Okay, so with that said, now we can just press A. Oh, hang on, we need to press Alt H as well, don't we, to bring our legs back. And now we're A here. and over here we're going to press UVs, average island scale. Okay, so that puts everything in the same kind of scale, right? So the legs are proportional to the table itself. So now we're obviously going to need to scale this down. Just press Shift Space to bring this into maximize it. Here we go. We can just start messing around with this. Okay, and just click on here, scale it up. Okay, so that's in there. And then we'll just grab these pieces, pop them there maybe. You get the idea. Okay, and then that one, grab that there. Okay, these pieces here are the bits we pinned earlier on. So how are we going to get on if I just do that? I have to do Control L here, just grab those out of the way. And I think those are all of the pinned ones, so what we can probably do is just grab that lot, maybe just move it over there for now. B, and just grab that lot. You get the idea, right? Grab it and put it over there, and then we can get these. These are the corner spin back. Oh, excuse me. Shift Space. These pieces here are these bits here. Zoom back out. Yeah, these bits. Yeah. Actually, you can do that and then do Control right tab. There you go. You see, there you go. Those bits. So it's A, and we'll just grab these. I mean, you might want to think about making some of these bits bigger. I would try and, if you're going to make, for instance, we can make the legs bigger, right? So if I go into here, but I wouldn't make parts of the, excuse me, Shift Space, I wouldn't make parts of this bigger compared to this, but if they're separate elements, you could always make them bigger, and that'll give it a little bit more quality, if you like, but you're hardly going to see the legs. So am I going to bother? I'll do it quickly. I'll just do, make sure nothing else is selected, click that, and just scale that up. Maybe just grab it over there. Scale it up, and you can move them a bit close together, right? So click that and just pull that. Oh no, do that and then do Control L to grab everything, and then just grab that on the up, and then just A, B, just get this lot, and just maybe scale up a touch more. That's enough for me. Okay, we've made the legs a bit bigger now. Okay, we've got ourselves a pretty good unwrap. So let's just save this. I haven't saved it yet, have I? I'm still in the NIM folder, so we'll say Table. Click there. Okay, we've got ourselves a saved object there. What we can do, if we just press Alt H here to, does that work? Over here, excuse me, tab out and do Alt H to bring back our lip. Okay, what we'll do is we'll just tab in here, and I think what I will do is create the normal map right now. It shouldn't take long. So we'll go over to here and we'll press New. Yes, click there, New. And we'll just call this table normal. Table underscore normal. I think 1024 by 1024 is going to be fine. I think. We could go 2048 by 2048. Let's do it. Okay. It's a big table. We want to get them. We want that to look pretty sharp, don't we? Click OK. Okay, we've created a big old image. Just scroll out with the middle mouse. And what we'll do now is if we just click into here and press Tab, and then A, and then we'll just grab over here and just click Table Normal, and that assigns that object to that image. Okay, so what we can do now is if we just tab out and just click on, right click the normal felt bump, and then right click the table, click on the camera, go to Bake, excuse me, come on, there we go, pull that down, and we want to do a normals, and then we will say select it to active. And I think that's all we need. Let's give that a go. I'm going to click Bake now, 1 second. Okay, so what's happened here, I think, is that excuse me, that this is got its normals around the wrong way. So we just tab back out. I'm just going to click on tab out, click on this, and let's do A, and then Control N, and now I'm going to try again. So let's tab out, and then right click there and do Bake. Okay, I'm not sure why that's being a monkey over here or here. I might just try a couple of things. I might just try a distance of something like 0.1. Sometimes you have to play around with these settings. Okay, so that's not enough. 0.2. Let's try 1. Oh dear. Okay, 1's too much. Okay, let me have a quick play, and I will work out and come right back. 1 second. Okay guys, I know what the problem is. The problem is that because we're baking onto the same two pieces of texture here, it's causing a problem because it's kind of mapping onto the same texture space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little cheat. Okay, I'm going to tab out, and I'm going to tab back into here. I'm going to control tab through it. Oh, excuse me, tab, control tab. Thank you. And then I'm going to delete that lower face there. Okay, bear with me on this. Okay, we don't have to keep this. Now if I just tab out, you're going to do control tab. Now click on this one, and then click on this one. Now go to bake. Let's just have a look, see how this works. Normals as before, selected to act. Click on bake. Okay, it looks like we've got these round the wrong way, so that's good news. So let's just tab in, press A, control N. No, it doesn't. That looks like it's still around the wrong way. So just go into shading UVs and do flip direction. There we go. Okay, and now tab out, shift right click. Gosh, guys, I'm sorry. Click there and click it again, and hallelujah. Okay, that saved us a normal map here. Nothing else. We've not made any other normals, so it's just that edge there that's going to work for us. So let's just save this image. Save as image. And the table normal.png is exactly right. So just a couple of things. We don't need the alpha, so just check RGB and so whack the compression up to 100% and do save as image. And now what we'll do is we'll actually do file open recent table.blend. Okay, and that'll actually bring back our layer down there, but we don't care. Now that will actually that will appear on the underside as well, but it'll never be seen. Okay, so actually we are done here, people. So I'm just going to tab back into here. Press A. You can see these guys here. It hasn't saved that normal on this save version, but that's fine. We snuck in a cheeky table normal without it even knowing about it. So let's go into. Oh no, hang on. The other thing we need to do is export it, of course. File, export. Let's quickly make sure we do control rotation and scale. So control A, rotation and scale, and now we'll do file, export, FBX. Table.fbx, there it is, and we just click selected objects, an experimental apply transform, and click export FBX. Okay, that's going to create an FBX file for us for Substance Painter. So let's go right in there right now and start modeling this bad boy. I will see you in a second. And here we are in Substance Painter. Let me just make sure I'm recording. Yes, I am. So let's bring in our table into Substance Painter now. There's one more thing I'd like to do, and this is one of those things you're also going to need to do after you've exported the FBX, okay? Because Substance Painter right now it uses different materials to do its modelling, okay? So the materials you create in Blender will actually create different meshes or texture sets over here in Unity 5. We only want one texture set, the reason being that we can't currently merge texture sets, so that's the reason why. So if we just quickly, we'll just create this right now, and we'll select our mesh, and we'll go for, table.fbx, and click OK. And there's our beautiful table. There it is. Look at that. Wow. Okay, that looks better in. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? In Substance Painter already, and we haven't even textured it yet. So the one thing we're going to do now is we're going to spin back into Blender. Okay, we're going to create a texture map file, and we're going to use this for our alpha files that we're going to create. Okay, again, bear with me on this if this isn't making any great amount of sense. What we'll do here is we're actually going to click on the materials over here, and we'll create a new material. So just press plus, and now I'm going to make this one a completely black. There we go, and just grab that down, make it completely black. Okay, actually let's make it a funky blue like that or something. Okay, but the point being that it's exactly the same, consistently the same color throughout that section there. And now if we just press 7, go to top view, and then we're going to right click here. Sorry, right click there, and then shift right click. No, we're not. First thing we do is assign a new texture. I'm all over the shop. Right, so let's tab back in here, press A, and then press plus, and we'll just call this, I don't know, table texture. Table textures, okay? And we can make that 102, let's keep it consistent, 2048 by 2048. 2048. Yeah, that's fine. Just click OK, and then that's table textures, and then what we'll then do is if we just click out again, then just do tab, shift right click, go over to bake, and then go over to here, and it's just textures. Okay, if we just click now, I'm hoping that we'll end up with everything, but we've got a blue section here, okay, and we can use that to define our alpha in a few moments time. So let's just save this image, save as image. Table textures.png is fine, RGB, compression up to full, save as image. Okay, again, that's one of those things you need to do after you've done the export FBX, otherwise we're going to have two different actually no, I'm lying because they're two separate objects. I'm sorry, I'm confusing things. Just go with me on this. We need to create a texture that looks like this, so that we've got an area that we can use in Substance Painter. Okay, if that wasn't clear, please let me know in the comments. I'm sorry, I've rushed through that a bit. Blender's a bit of a stickler for the weird way that you bake textures in Blender. This isn't critical, actually. There are other ways you could do this, but I found this the easiest way. But if we spin back into Blender now, the first thing we need, Substance Painter, the first thing we need to do is bake those textures. Okay, so let's get an output size of 2048. There it is. I'm going to use anti-aliasing of 4x4, and I'm going to click bake. Okay, this is going to take a few minutes, so I'm going to click bake and then come back when it's finished. Welcome back. Look at this problem we have here. Because the underside and the top side share the same texture, Substance Painter has in its wisdom decided to create like a sort of a blurring around where the legs would be on the underside. Now I could try and edit this in Substance Painter, however I'm not 100% sure how to do that. I could have a little play around. For now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin back into Blender, and I'm going to click under here and just click under, and I'm just going to remove this face here because it's just getting right on my nerves. It's caused too many problems. So I'll just do that and then click out and then just do File, Export, FBX, and do it again. Table.fbx, make sure it's selected objects and experimental, and click Export FBX. And now if we spin back into Blender, Substance Painter, and just do File New, it'll complain, so just discard that. Unity 5, that's it, and just do Table.fbx again. Click OK. Well, that was our table, but the weirdest thing will happen when you look underneath it. Look, it disappears, and that's because of the way the normal maps work, the way that the backface culling they call it. So we'll just have to make sure that we never look underneath the table for now, at least. There are ways around that. We could have used different areas for the texture. For now, let's just go with that and just assume that we'll always keep it looking on top, never underneath. All right. So now we can bake it again. 2048, we'll click on anti-aliasing 4x4, and away we go again. Okay, I'll be back when it's finished. Okay, we're back, and the ambient occlusion has behaved itself this time. Let's go spin over to viewer settings. Again, like last time, let's just get this variant opacity. I don't know whether it's something that it's permanent for me, but yeah, it does seem to be in a state of darkness until I make that change. I'm sure it used to default to something like this, but somewhere in my registry or somewhere in the settings, I just don't know. Right, so let's get on with first thing first. Let's just sort of apply a general wood texture. So we'll click down on here. Let's start with the legs. Legs should be nice and easy. So if we just add a new folder, and we'll just click there, and we'll just click on legs. And what we'll do is we will just pull something in along that looks like wood. Let's have a click on Smart Materials and just do a search for wood. Wood. What have we got here? Wooden chest, wooden walnut. Let's just drag that in and see how that looks. I like that, but it's a bit too rustic, isn't it? The rest, let's just do Control Z then. Let's just try wood beech, although I think that was the same what we used for our matchstick, wasn't it? Wooden beech. Beech wood. Yeah, again, that would make a great rustic table, wouldn't it? But it's not a poker table. So finally, let's just try wood chest. If this isn't right, we've still got some materials we can use. These are smart materials. Well, that's pretty close. That's pretty close to what we're after, I think. It's a bit rustic. Let's just do Control Z and go to materials and look here under wood. There we go, wood, that's the sort of thing we're after. So we'll just drag that in, pull that in. That's just a plain material, be a bit more shiny. There we go, lovely. Now we've got a decision to make. Do we want this to be that way, horizontal or vertical? And the other thing, of course, is we only want this to apply to the legs. So what we'll do is we'll click on the legs folder and add a black mask. And if we click over to here to polygon fill, and then select is it UV chunk? Oh, we might be able to do this one, mesh fill. Let's just try that. there, and that's done a lot. Okay, and for me that's facing the wrong direction, I think, don't you? I think that needs to point upwards, doesn't it? So if we click over to here, excuse me, and then we just do where are we, rotation, just click here and just do 90, that'll point upwards. Okay, I think that looks okay. I think that looks alright. No, I'm not so sure. Let's just try changing the scale to 6. Yeah. And of course we want to make sure it's also triplanar. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That looks good, I think. Yes, that's fine for the legs. Remember, because they all share the same UV space, you see, when you apply it to one piece, it'll apply it to all 4 because they're all kind of overlapping each other. So there's a good start. Let's do the same thing for the main table. So if we just create a new folder, we'll drag it out. Sometimes it goes inside another folder, and we'll just call, what should we call this? We'll call this table. Although that's a bit stupid, isn't it? Because the legs are part of the table, but there we go. And we'll drag that in to this piece here. But now we want to just apply it to the main piece. So let's just add a black mask. Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll just hopefully just click on that, and it will select the lot. And again, we're making a decision, and I actually think this is correct. It's going that way. We could potentially click on here and change the angle to 90 degrees. Let's have a quick look. I don't know what you think, but I think the other way is correct. I'm pretty sure, I'm happy that that way is the way it should face. It looks correct to me, that. Alright, now the problem that we're going to face now, this is something, and I don't know if this is a problem with Substance Painter, is that if we now apply this felt section, this kind of, can you see this kind of indenting here, these normals will apply to this area here. So what we need to do is we need to just click on the table here, and I think all we need to do is we need to say add mask with color selection. Okay, and now what we can do is if we go to our so we need to drag our images in as well, don't we? So let's just click on all here, spin out. I'm going to bring up a Windows Explorer and then click on to NIM. Is that going to be the right folder? Blender NIM. Here we go. So we can bring our 2 in here. So before we do that, let's actually save this as well. So we'll save it here. We'll just call it table. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll just click over here, and I think we have to bring them in one by one. I'm actually not sure. We'll bring the normal in first. It brings up this new window, and we can just call it a texture, and we'll import it to current project table. Click import, and we'll do the same thing for our table's texture here. Bring that in. Okay, again, and just click texture and import to this project table. Click import. Okay, now what we should be able to do here now is if we go to ID mask, we can click on our table texture and then pick the color, and it's that one. Okay, now with that in mind, can I now click here? This is it. Actually, it's gone the wrong way around, hasn't it? So we need to do the opposite. So let's just click on here. Can we undo that? Can we undo our work? There we go. So now if we just do pick color, it's that one. There we go. That's better. Okay, I selected everything. We don't want the legs, do we? We know about that. So what we can do is click back to here and then flick this back to dark, and if we just click on one of the legs, I'm hoping that will work. It'll unselect it, but it's not unselecting it. Let's just try that again. It's being a bit of a monkey. I'd hope that would work out the box, but I don't think it is. Let's just undo that. Yeah, you can see they're facing the other way. That is really, really, really annoying. I was hoping that it would allow me to edit this still, with even though the colour selection's here. I was hoping it would let me do a sub-edit. Let's actually just try one thing. Let's just say add paint. Okay, and if we just do paint here, now we might be able to select that. Oh, boom, there we go. Okay, so the paint's allowed me to actually remove the legs. I just want to see, can it expand that? That's fine. Those are all the pieces that we want to select. I think I'm happy-ish, I think, that that's actually worked as I expect, which is really good news. Okay, so the final piece is to add the felt in this middle bit here. So we'll have one more piece, one more folder, called felt. And guys, thank you for sticking with me here. I'm still learning. No questions. Please put some stuff in the comments and tell me what I need to do to improve. And we need to add we'll just add a fill layer and just drag that into felt. And then in the felt here we need to add a black mask. And now what we can do is say add mask with color selection, and again use this mask here, and just say pick color and that. Okay, and now our fill layer, we should have changed this first I guess, but if we make that red you can see it should just apply to that there. There we go. And you can see at the moment the normal map's not been applied, so why don't we do that just to get a hit of how that's going to work, how that's going to look. So if we go back to our texture set settings, right, because we've imported our normal map a few seconds ago, if we just click on normal here, table normal is the one we created, wasn't it? There it is. If we click on there, you can see it's kind of created this fake lip. Can you see that? Cool or cool? I think it's cool. Okay, but we need to make this green, obviously. You have a red felt. You can have red felt if you want to, but I'm going to make it a dark green. Darkish there. Okay, I don't want this to be too shiny. At the minute you can see it's very shiny indeed, so let's just add down the roughness. It's nice and dark. Not completely, but just a little bit of a sheen, isn't it? Felt's got a bit of a sheen. That makes me think it's a bit too dark. The other thing I'd like to do is just get a bit of roughness to it. So we will add, we'll remove the normal map, but we will click on the height channel, which is here, and I'm going to try, before I do, I'm just going to see if there's a sort of a cotton or something like that. I don't think there is, so I'm going to use my go-to, which is of course fractal sum. And when you do that for the first time, it'll look horrifyingly busy, and that's okay, because what you can now do is just click on here. Let's just call that green felt or something. Yeah, and then we will click on here, and then if we just click onto the layers, if we just click on the height map, what we can then do here is just grab, not linear dodge, grab the 100 and just start pulling this down until we see something that looks not too bad. But the other thing that's pretty obvious to me is that we need to make this a bit more regular. So let's try 12. Okay, that looks a bit busy, doesn't it? So that's okay. No, I don't like fractal sum. Fractal sum's entirely the wrong one. Let's just try a few other ones. Perlin noise. Oi. Oh, and of course we want to try planar. That's not made a huge amount of difference there. What else we got? We got black and white spots. Maybe we could play around with this a bit more, but yeah, I'm certainly not happy with the height on it. So we should down that a bit more. You can see how little this needs. Let's just try 4. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Maximize. I'm going to go with that, guys. I'm going to go with 4. I'd like to make these edges here a bit darker, but not to worry for now. That, to me, is a really good looking poker table. Now what we could do is we could add some kind of effects around here. How are we doing for time? I've been going on for a little while. If you've got Substance Painter, I'd encourage you to have a little, maybe play with the table here, and then just potentially add a paint layer above it. There we go. We'll just call this black holes or something. Black holes. Black circles. Alright, what we can then do is if we just go to not smart masks, brushes. No, help me out here, guys. It's going to be the normals, isn't it? Let's just go to textures. No. So now I can't find it, of course. So if we just click onto here, and then if I just go to the alpha here, we should be able to find one that we like the look of. Maybe that one. Okay, and then what we can then do is just Alt Shift left click, and that will just allow us to do a kind of a, there we go. We want that to be black, don't we? We want that to be black, or at least a very dark colour. And we wanted to affect the height channel, and maybe just pull that in, pull that down. Let's just have a quick look, see how that looks. You see what I've done? Kind of created that there. So what we can then do is if we just select out and then just Alt middle mouse, and then we can just kind of click. What I'm going to do as well is click on mirror. Is it that one? Where's my mirror? Mirror there. Sorry, it's this one here, and we'll do it on the Z. Okay, and also we want to go to orthographic view. F6 if you're not sure. There we go. Now what we can do, I have to play around with this a bit. If I just click one, then do Shift right click, Shift Control click, you can see that they're way too close together. This is where it requires a bit of time here. So we spin back up. I should never have started this off. Let's try 80. Okay, and then we'll just click here. Shift right click here. 80 is not enough. We'll try 160 then. 140. Should never have done this, guys. But I just wanted to show you what the kind of thing that Substance Painter can do. That's a bit better, but I might just go a little less creative. I might try 200. Let's try that. See how that looks. And then perhaps put one more just there, just for the fun of it. And if anybody's checking the height of it, then you're in trouble, aren't you? Yeah, I like that. And then we'll just click on here, here, do it on the X, and then we can do a similar thing here. Just go down. Okay, and there you go. Now we've got ourselves a kind of a bit, something interesting happening at least on the table. Not massively fan of that, but at least it's something going on. Okay, so let's Control S that. Turn off the mirror for now. No, I'm not sure I like those black circles. They make it look stupid. I'm going to take them off. For now, we're just going to go with a nice, smooth-looking poker table. All right, we'll think about some decals. I might have a little play with that and show you what I've done in the next video. But for now, I'm saving it up. By the way, I like these. I like the way this is done here. It looks kind of like somebody that works in carpentry would have to create a separate chunk of wood for the corners. So I quite like the way that works. If you don't like that, then what you can do is click over here and do triplanar. And that should make a much more smooth looking surface. In fact, now I say that, I kind of like that as well. I'll let you decide. I'm going to go for you so it looks like it's different pieces of wood being used. Alright people, that for now is where I'm going to go. I'm going to have a little play with this a little bit more, and then I will I'll show you what I've done in the next video. Just add some interesting things to the side here. But for now, we're going to finish. Thank you as always for watching. Much appreciated, and I hope you'll comment, I hope you'll like, and I hope you'll point out any mistakes I may have made. So look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.